Hello. Oh, as I'm currently in the midst of producing, editing my full review of Pokemon Legends Z A, I thought I would give you like a smaller video. Oh, and especially before I also take a look at some thought-provoking films from DaCosta and PTA. So here's your regularly scheduled dose of silly, but also very heartwarming in its own way. So here are my reaction and thoughts on the finale to Wylde Pak, fittingly titled Best Summer Ever. So, let's begin. So, the episode is a 22-minute special, all in contrast to most of the other episodes being two 11-minute stories, which features there's two major plot beats. It's the first being Jack trying to determine what direction he'll take with his life, if as he goes home to reunite with his mother, Alice, as well as trying to get to the airport before his flight leaves. Both of which are highly relatable. I mean, one of the things I enjoyed most about this show is the whole simplicity of its concept, where I mean, it definitely helps that I can tell it has similar writers and artists worked on Loud House, even to the point where they use most of the other shows a lead in, and more often than not on Friday nights, and also how even though a lot of things are exaggerated for comedic effect and ways that can only be done in animation, and complete with having like a whole rough hewn comic strip looking feel, but also ones that couldn't see happening in real life. I mean, we're not likely to try and be swinging through baggage chests like Spider-Man and using some sticky hands you got out of a gashapon machine, or her going through so many outfits, some almost look like someone Twin Peaks. It's complete with speaking with smooth back talk, but trying to find who you are as a person, even at such a young age, and determining where you want to go, what you want to do with your life. Those are big things in anyone's world, and I like how it's a natural bookend and to the very first episode, even with the in terms of title, and I also kind of corrected my insinuation and that at the movie he was working on would actually be a documentary about his experiences. I mean, it's where I kind of feeling that not every documentary filmmaker makes narrative, and likewise, Brett, not every narrative filmmaker makes documentary. I mean, it's also kind of why I've taken the approach I have, especially in the last year or so. No, to scale back. I mean, really only put things out that I feel like I can stand behind, and that's also why I ultimately concluded that even though there may be another time I might try Star Wars again, and it's not going to be anytime soon. Just can't do it. Likewise, I definitely enjoy the idea of creatives being able to end a show on their own terms, as opposed to trying to keep it going just because the money is great. I mean, heck, I just found out fairly recently this whole Malcolm revival event, and they're willing to offer Dewey's original actor Eric Purcell millions return, but since he's studying the Ivy Leagues, he politely but firmly declined. And while some people bemoan how not a lot how so many shows have come and gone while others have lasted for a quarter of a century, this stage of my life I tend to have the opposite reaction. That not every show has to last as long as SpongeBob Loud House or Kiss Me for TMNT, and I guess now Sonic, where sometimes I actually can really appreciate, as I mentioned with Smiling Friends, that the creatives can end a show at the peak of its quality and leave the audience wanting more instead. I also do like the little exchange near the end of and between the kids and their her grandmother, her Harmony. The we'll get into the season. Not with that merger, we won't. I also enjoyed how little details, like the same fighting game that Lily was playing at the beginning of the show, by the end, not only has Jack actually gotten to grips with it, he's actually he managed to pass as her, which I can definitely think can be true of a lot of titles where if you start out not as great, you can actually learn just by keeping at it. And it mean I wouldn't say it's become like how I can at times almost be like Neo, just looking at the screen and seeing nothing but uh, a raw code staring back at me sometimes. But I definitely enjoy how with Man all the Madcap action with Grandma doing her best Oculus slide after taking in some other grandma's Vespa, uh, but also little moments of trying to find the right concourse just to get to Alice's point where it takes off. Off mean, and whatever happens next, I will definitely do my best to keep my thoughts open. If it's always easy based on my own experience. Heck, even though it remains to be seen what will happen next, next, next on this current management, whether or not successfully a welcome Warners in their fold, especially given how current tensions have made the whole 24 billion in funding not really sure thing. I mean, I my gut tells me if it comes to it that Larry or David, whoever's just going to pay the 7 billion a piece just to back out if people decide against it. Still, I can imagine that's how I'll enjoy the show, oh, as as much as I can, and count on that. I always like when ends make me feel multiple emotions off at the same time. I'm not be able to replace Ace Ace for then to have an exchange as if to say, hey, you're the first real friend I've ever had. And I've had so many, but only one that mattered. And with that in mind, I definitely he he will see you all again very soon, and keep an eye out for my full look at Legends ZA on 16th. Before that, however, I have some unfinished business with a Best Picture winner that I've heard very good things about. That'll be all for now. Take care, everyone.